Hey guys, welcome back to the Craig and Ryland review show with me, Craig. No, that's not how we start. It's not what we do. We don't do that. We'll try again. I'm sure Michael will cut it and not play this.
No.
He'll never know. Nobody will ever know that I've made a mistake. Right, here we go. We'll try again. It's 5 o'clock on a Wednesday, and it's time for
A Craig and Ryland's Magic Review Show.
I'm Craig.
I'm Ryland.
Welcome back to another review show right here on
Magic TV.
Flawless. Never needs a second take ever on this show. Welcome back to another review show right here on Magic TV, where myself and Craig. No, I am Craig. It's been a long day. You're Ryland, I'm Craig. I get confused. Myself and Ryland dissect some of the latest and greatest tricks.
We look at.
We dissect them, we look at them, we perform them, we deep dive into them.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a review show where you're going to get excited about brand new tricks that are coming out, that are going to blow everyone's mind, stuff that you can put into your app straight away. This is not the review show.
Not the one.
If you, however, want to have...
the tricks that you would put in your bottom drawer that's a waste of money.
Yeah, because honestly, not everything, but a lot of stuff on here is just complete and total tat. It's just terrible pants rubbish.
Poo.
Yeah, that's poo. It's poo. That's what it is.
It's poop spelled backwards.
It's poop. So, except poop spelled backwards is poop. Yeah, that's very good. And we're going to start off with just a truly terrible trick. So, let's get straight into it right now. This one's diabolical. Okay, so first of all, we have Bounce by House of Magic or something. I don't know. First of all, we have Bounce. Now, Bounce is basically... the trick is that you take a card, you have it signed, you put it in between two chord cards, and it penetrates through somebody's t-shirt. So imagine that they pull their t-shirt out, you take the cards, you put it on their t-shirt, you reach underneath their t-shirt, and you pull one card through. That's basically the effect. Now, I'm not going to be doing it through a t-shirt because I'm sitting down at a table. So I'm going to do it through a table, which is basically the same thing, other than the fact that, it's not through a table. But you get the idea of exactly what's meant to happen. So we're going to do a performance first of all, and then we'll talk about exactly what we think.
Just so you know, I think it says House of Bounce, not House of Magic, House of Bounce.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure the trick is called Bounce. I don't think it's called House of Bounce, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's who cares? Let's just have a look at the trick. Who
cares?
So, Ryan, I'm going to show you a trick with a pack of playing cards.
Yep.
And you, my friend, are going to see, I'd like to call it a miracle, but it's really not. But we're going to do a card trick, all right? Doesn't matter, just grab a card. The Ace of Spades. Yes, why don't you go ahead and ruin this brand new pack of cards so that I can't do any ace tricks evermore. Thank you. Because you're going to sign your name in it. And I'm going to show you something using the two queens. So we have the Queen of Clubs and we have the Queen of Spades, two queens. And we are going to do something amazing with the Queen of Clubs and with the Queen of Spades. And also with your card. Amazing. So could you do me a favour and show everyone the card so they can see that it really is your card? Is that good? And we're going to put your card face up in between the queens. So you can see right there, your card is face up in between the face down queens, yeah? Or if I turn it over this way, it's actually
face down into between.
Exactly. Nothing gets past you, does it? Right? Correct. Nothing gets past you. So I'm going to pop them in a sandwich formation, kind of there. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Good. And we don't use the rest of the deck that's there. Now, we're known to do this with a t-shirt, but instead of a t-shirt, you're supposed to pull the t-shirt out and do it through a t-shirt, but I'll do it through the table. Do you see your card right there? Watch. Yeah. I can actually push one card through the table, one card only. It's actually your signed card.
Wow.
I know, isn't that amazing?
No.
No, it's not. Okay, so that was the first trick. Now, before we even talk about that, because it's not a great trick for a variety of different reasons, before we get to that, well, let's talk about the tutorial, shall we? Because it's a it's just under a 4-minute tutorial. Just under a 4-minute tutorial.
How to fix the thing?
Oh, this is brilliant. No, you got to hear this, right? So it's just under a 4-minute tutorial, and I'm a fan of having tutorials that give you as much information as you need.
Yeah.
As you know, with a lot of my products...
9 hours of tutorial.
Yeah. So a lot of my products, I tend to try and give as much information as possible. But I think as a bare minimum, you need a live performance. You need how the gimmick works. If
And
it's
you
a
need
gimmick
tricks.
that's prone to breaking, you
How to
need
fix
how to
it.
fix it. You need
Give lots of-
detailed
lots
instructions of how the gimmick works,
Lots of
how to do the
tricks.
performance. Yeah, maybe some bonus ideas with it as well. Now, here's the thing. It comes up with a before you even start on this tutorial, 15 seconds of the 3-minute, 45-second tutorial is just a screen of text. And it says, an announcement from the company, and it says, "Hey, we have decided. Welcome to the tutorial to Bounce. We are going to be using a new style of tutorial, and we have decided that most people in Magic do not want long, drawn-out tutorials, and instead they just want to be presented with the bare essentials that they need in order to do the trick." And then it goes on in the next paragraph and says, "We polled over X amount of magicians in 2022, and they all said that this is how they would like their tutorials to be. So, with that being said, this tutorial is going to be very short and just give you the information we need. Thank you very much." And then goes into the tutorial. So it's basically them saying, we know our tutorial is going to be crap, but we don't care. This is how we're going to be doing it. Now, how they do it is they have a close-up. Like, you don't even see the person's face. You have a close-up of their hands, and then every so often text comes up on the screen. But here's the first problem. Because they're trying to get this done as snappily as possible, the text stays on the screen for about 3 seconds, but there's normally about a paragraph or two explaining what you need to do at that point. So what ends up happening...
So it's like a big paragraph.
Yeah,
One,
so you have to
two,
pause it, and if you don't catch pausing it in time, you then have to rewind and then look at it, and there's a ton of information to take in, and then you have to look at the next bit where he's actually doing it to camera, and then you kind of have to go back and read the text again. Because look, if this is your idea of the modern way of doing a tutorial, then I'm sorry, and I mean this with all due respect, you're a complete and total idiot. Because this is just the most ridiculous way to teach magic that I have ever seen. It's a 3.5-minute crotch shot with some text coming up on the screen that doesn't even make sense. Oh, and by the way, you know what? Let's talk about crediting for a second. When you do the little thing, when you say, we're now going to teach you a switch on how to switch 2 cards for another card, and you go through that move and you go, okay, this is a great move. You can maybe take this switch and use it with other tricks that you might want to do. It's called Secret Subtraction by J.K. Hartman. The problem with doing stuff like this and condensing it down into nothing is that you can't even get your crediting straight. If you, as a company, can't even be asked to credit the magicians that have come before you, that have invented the moves that you need to put into your crappy little trick in order to... It's just not right. It's not right. This tutorial is ridiculous. It's getting 0%. Even if it was the greatest trick in the world, it's getting 0% for the tutorial. But let's be honest, the trick is pants. What do you saw it? What do you think of it?
It's terrible.
It's terrible. It's terrible. So let me tell you why it's terrible. First of all, it uses invisible elastic thread, and they don't teach you how to fix it, and it is going to break. I can just tell from using the gimmick. It's going to break very, very quickly. They don't teach you how to fix it, so this gimmick's going to probably last about 0.2 seconds. And then the other thing is, when you get to the point where the cards are laid out on the table or onto someone's T-shirt, you were there looking at it, you can just see the thread.
Yeah.
Can't you?
Yeah.
Like that. I've got
Right there.
terrible
Right
eyesight. There's no cover for it at all. When you're stretching that gimmick out, they can see the thread. It's there. There's nothing to hide it. And if you're doing it on their T-shirt like they suggest, it's going to be even more blatant because it's right underneath their nose. You can just see exactly what's going on. And then, it's not exactly the greatest trick in the world, is it? Let's be honest. It's not exactly the greatest trick in the world. When it boils down to it, you can do the same thing. You can do almost exactly the same thing with just a regular deck of cards. I love the fact that they teach you how to do a gambler's cop. They don't really. They have a clip of somebody doing a gambler's cop, and they say there's 2 ways to get the card under the T-shirt. The first is for palming, and then the second way we can't tell you because it's somebody else's method. Well, then why even bring it up? Like, why even bring it up? You could achieve exactly the same thing using a regular deck of cards. You could have 2 cards, you could use 2 queens. Well, I'm not even going to bother showing you. Anyone who's been in Magic for like 3 minutes could show you, could come up with a way of doing that exact trick with virtually no gimmicks at all, with complete and total, with sleight of hand. It adds nothing. And also, like, you've got this gimmick that basically effectively allows you to vanish a card from between 2 queens using elastic thread. Been done before, you get that, right? Been done before, many, many times before. I don't see what new you're adding to the stuff that JB Magic brought out years ago. What new you're adding to, what's that Eric Jones trick from years ago? Fusion or something, I can't remember. They were much better applications of this method. All you've done is you've taken a gimmick that's been around, it's lazy. You want to come up with a trick, so you come up with a trick using a gimmick that absolutely everybody has done to death. You do nothing original with it at all. You've got one little routine, not that it's even a routine, because we don't see a live performance. We don't even see a performance because of your crappy little survey. All we see is a 3.5 minute crotch chop with some text on the screen that you can't be asked to put on long enough for people to read what's going on. This is absolutely, completely and utterly, diabolically pathetic, and I would not even use it to start a bonfire. It's terrible. What do you think? I'm done. I'm really annoyed by it. It's terrible.
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 Tell him how terrible it is.
Terrible.
It's terrible. What he said, it's terrible. It's just an awful trick.
Minus bajillion quintillion percent.
Minus bajillion quintillion percent. What he said.
Bajillion quintillion.
I'm gonna give it 0.5%. 0.5%, because it's truly awful in every single way, shape, or form. No, 0.5%. 0.5%, like less than 1%. 0.5%. And the reason is, you could take the playing card, you could rip it apart, you could take the invisible elastic thread out, and then you could grot yourself with it. So you wouldn't have to watch any more terrible tricks from this company. This...
Why don't you just take the elastic off and use it as a loop?
There you go. Dude, there you go. That's where my 0.5% is coming from. Yes, amazing. 0.5% from me, minus whatever the hell he said.
Quintillion percent.
It's dreadful. Absolutely, completely and utterly dreadful. But don't worry, because the next trick, we've got somebody stepping in to save the day. That's right. It's Peter Eggink. Okay, so next up we have Concealed by Peter Eggink. Ultra quick, ultra visual. Let me tell you what this is. First of all, you're not getting...
Ultra visual.
It's not. Let me...
Ultra visual.
Shut up. Let me tell you right now. You're confusing me. Let me tell you right now, we're not performing this. And the reason we're not performing in this is because, honestly, I think
It's not ultra visual.
I'd lose the will to live if I tried to make it up. Right, it basically... Look, let me explain what it is, first of all. So, the effect from the audience is that you have a card signed, it's lost into the pack, you then tap the pack with the pen, and you show your hand empty, you reach into the back pocket, and you bring the signed card out from your back pocket. That is, in essence, what the trick is. It is a signed card to back pocket with no palming. Now, to be fair to the trick, and to be fair to it, that is what it does. It does indeed make a card vanish from the deck into the back pocket.
Is it ultra visual?
Well, it's not ultra visual because, when you think visual, you think like a visual colour change. There's nothing visual about this. The card goes into the deck, it vanishes, you show your hand empty, you reach into your back pocket, the card's there. But that's subjective. But let me explain the problem behind this trick and the reason that we're not performing it. The main problem is, it's the equivalent of trying to kill a spider with an AK-47. It's like you're going to the most ridiculous lengths in order to make a signed card appear in your back pocket. If you want to make a signed card appear in your back pocket, I've got a gimmick in here, but don't worry about that.
Look, there's a signed card right there.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, calm down. If you're going to make a signed card appear in your back pocket or anywhere else, the easiest way is to just put it into the deck, control the card, lose it in the pack, palm the card, reach in, and it's there. Or you can routine something in a much cleverer way so you don't need palming, like you load it in there earlier on. Or let's say you switch it out for another card. So let's say you've done this and you say to somebody, right, okay, so you pick the ace of spades, you've signed it. Can you do me a favour? Can you shuffle this card into the pack? And as they're doing that, you know, you're putting the cards away into, or even you're just putting this half of the deck into the box or something, and you're putting the box away and you've got their card. Well, there's a million ways of doing it. What he has here,
there's something else you can do.
You're the one that wanted to be quick.
You could do that, and then you could do the that, and then Scott did it. You do like that. And then you can just reach into your pocket and it's there.
Yeah, somebody's been practicing card manipulation.
No.
So the point, right?
I can't do it sitting down.
I know you can't. The point is, there's a million ways to make a card go into your pocket. Now, I'm all for a complicated setup if it achieves something that's never been done before.
Yeah.
Or something that really is hypervisual. So I'll give you an example. Not that it requires a really complicated setup or hookup, but The Fall by Noel Coulter is a great example, because that moment where they're holding onto the see-through thing and the card goes through, that's a trick that's not really been seen before. And so the fact that I need to have a couple of extra things in the deck in order to be able to do that, I'm fine with that. Now this, you're literally just doing a card to pocket. There's nothing special about it. You're literally just doing a card to pocket. And although the reset is fairly quick, it takes about 30 seconds, you can't do this again. So you couldn't immediately put the card back in the deck and have it go into the pocket again. So, you know, if you think about all of the different, think of Stars of Magic, think of the card to pocket sequence from the old Stars of Magic, where, you know, the card goes into the pocket and then apparently goes back in again. And you have a multi-phase card to pocket. Look at my card to pocket extreme on the Nectrix. You can't do that with this. It's a one and you're done deal. Now, the setup is ridiculous. So here's what's going to happen here. You're going to have, again, thread, and you get the thread with it. You get two different types of thread. You're going to have thread, you're going to have magnets, you're going to have a whole bunch of stuff. You've got a setup in your right-hand pocket, which means your right-hand pocket, your right-hand trouser or jeans pocket, really can't be used for anything else, because that's where the setup starts. It's running all the way around your back, which means that the back pocket really you don't want to use, because that's where the card's going to end up. And it comes all the way out to a card which is in the deck. Now, Peter says that you can have the deck in your pocket. You couldn't put the deck in the box and put the box in your left-hand pocket, because if you do, it's going to snap the hook up, right? So he says you can take the deck and you can put the deck in your pocket as long as you're careful with the hookup. If that's true, there's no reason why he's lying. If that's true, it means that you've got your left-hand pocket taken up, it means you've got your right-hand pocket taken up, and it means you've got your back pocket taken up, and you've got a hookup running all the way around your body just to be able to do a card to pocket with no palming. Now think about that for a second. But, and here's the big but, right? I have a feeling that card is that hookup is going to snap when it goes in your pocket, especially if you're walking around, because it's all the way around the back, right? It's there. It's going into the pocket. You couldn't put your hands in your pocket, and when you take the deck out, you're going to need to be careful. So if you don't have it in your pocket, the only other option is you have the deck in your hand. So in other words, you have the deck in your hand as you walk up to a group of people. You've got to start with this trick because you're hooked up and you're ready to go. Like, it's very, very, very impractical. Now, it's not 360 either, because if you're wearing no jacket, and there is a jacket handling to be fair, but if you're not wearing a jacket, anybody who's at the side of you or anyone who's behind you will immediately see what's going on. Now, if you've got a jacket, you have more cover. But if you've got a jacket, there's a million ways of doing a card to pocket with no palming. Like, I remember seeing Pat Page many years ago using the Ovette Master Move or the Kelly bottom replacement, and he'd have the card on the bottom of the deck, control to the bottom, and then as he did this, he'd load the card into it. This is a shirt, so this won't work. He'd load the card into his into underneath his jacket as he gives the cards out. You know, so if you've got a jacket on, there's a million other ways that you can go with that. But if you've got a jacket, you won't have those angle issues. But if you're not wearing a jacket, you're going to have angle issues all the way around.
If you're wearing a jacket, could it get caught on the jacket though? Couldn't it get caught on the jacket?
Yeah, there is a chance that he could get caught on the jacket, yeah. But I don't know because I haven't made it up and I'm not going to make it up. Look, it comes with all of the gubbins that you need to make it up. I don't see
Well, you need to make it up.
Yeah, I mean, there's a one-time setup. Well, you say there's a one-time setup. There's a setup that's probably more than one time because if it breaks, you'll have to fix it. But there's a one-time setup that you have to do. Because the thread and everything has to be measured out to so on and so forth. But it's terrible. I wouldn't talk normally so openly about method. I'm not, but I think it's very important with this particular trick. You understand that the big problem is it's a setup that almost nobody will do in order to achieve one of the simplest tricks in magic. It's not amazing. It's not rocket science. It's not an incredible trick. It's a trick that anyone could do. Heck, control the card to the top of the deck, stick a double backer in your back pocket, take the double backer off, put it on the deck, do a double turnover, give them the card. Like, there's a million ways of doing this that don't require palming that will ultimately be better than this. Now, if you want to have the effect that you saw in the trailer, by all means, but understand it is an insane hookup that's going to tie up pretty much all of your pockets in your jeans or your trousers in order to do this trick. I'm giving it 0%. I think it's terrible. It works though. I mean, it works, but I just think it's another example of a trick coming out, and Peter does this a lot. It's another example of a trick coming out that doesn't really add anything to the body of work within the Magic community. Honestly, it doesn't really add anything at all. Now, that's just my opinion. There might be somebody out there that's looking for an incredible way of doing a card to pocket and doesn't mind about a setup or a hookup at all, and that's absolutely fine. For me, I just think this is a cash grab. It's getting 0%. What about you?
Minus bajillion quintillion again.
Okay, same as before, minus whatever he said. Let's move on with another terrible trick. Okay, so next up we have the Dr. Schwartz floating light bulb. Now, Ryland's the one that's been learning this, so I'm going to let him talk about what he thinks about it in a minute. But I will say one thing. When it comes to tutorials, when it comes to tricks...
No, I didn't really watch the tutorial.
I know, because there is none. I got you to watch the trailer, because here's the thing, right? When it comes to tutorials, when it comes to instructions, when it comes to learning a trick, this wins the Magic TV Award of the single worst instructions ever. First of all, there's no online video instructions. That's fine. Okay, they decided to go with no online video instructions. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. That's their choice, right? Didn't go with no online video instructions. And we'll get to the performance in a minute. Didn't do online video instructions. Okay. Let me just... Two sheets of paper. Let me just read it to you. Let me just read this paragraph here. That's right. So, here we go. Up until that is just the effect, right? Okay, so we're bearing in mind there's one sheet of instructions, one page, and then a little paragraph at the top, and these are just pictures, right? That's all we got, right? Okay. So, halfway down, the instructions start. Get this. These instructions will only show you the bulb in different positions of performance. You will need to refer to the L&L video to show you how to maneuver, spelt wrong, into these different, spelt wrong, positions. Watching the video will be of great help to you to learn how to create the illusion of floating. I hope you enjoy performing this updated classic of magic. Right, so in other words, the guy's saying here, these instructions, all they're going to see is... Now, this is the great thing, because we're going to get into this. The photos are just... They're not explaining how the trick works. No. All the photos are of Magic Ballet, who's doing the trailer for this. Magic Ballet performing it. It's not like it's an exposed behind the scenes. This is how it. It's just pictures taken. It doesn't show you any. It shows you nothing. It doesn't show you how the trick works. It shows you nothing. So then you go, okay. So I've just spent, by the way, 150 quid. I've just spent 150 quid on a trick, and so all I've got. You can talk about that. And all we've got here is go and watch the L&L video. It doesn't even tell you what the L&L video is. There's a lot of them. I Googled L&L floating light bulb, L&L publishing floating light bulb. And I went on Murphy's. I went on multiple dealers' websites. I even went on the Magic Cafe and I looked into floating light bulbs on an L&L video. Nothing. So in other words, for 150 quid, I get a sheet of instructions that don't tell me how anything works. And I get told to look at a video that I don't even know where it is because it's from a company that closed down a decade ago. You are taking the absolute pee out of people spending their money on this crap. If you are releasing a trick to the magic community, it is your right. You have to teach them how it works. You can't put a stupid sheet of paper in there and say, go look at a video that doesn't exist, that you probably can't buy now. 150 quid. 150 quid. So all I did for Ryland is I said, go and learn this. There's the trailer. Watch Magic Ballet do it. Figure it out. Because there's nothing else I could have done after spending my 150 quid. Well done, Dr. Schwartz. You're up there with NPAD territory. This is just terrible. This is an absolute, complete and total cash grab. Just awful. Let's look at a performance of Ryland attempting to do this.
This took like 50 takes. No
joke. Because it's made terribly. Because it's basically a zombie gimmick with a light bulb.
It came broken.
We'll talk about that in a second. Here's a performance. After the performance, I'll let Ryland tell you exactly what he thinks. Yeah,
It's
okay.
terrible.
It came broken. Terrible. It came broken, right?
Yeah, it came broken.
Like you're supposed to be able
to get gaffer tape.
Yeah.
No,
well, I mean, we assume it came
it's not
broken.
gaffer tape.
There's no instructions, so we don't know. Maybe it's meant to be like that. Maybe you're supposed to put gaffer tape over it in order to make it work. I didn't even see a switch. You saw the switch. There's a little switch that switches the light bulb on and off. And I didn't even see the switch. You saw the switch. I didn't even see it. I just thought it wasn't working. But apparently, there's a switch. Wouldn't even know. There's no instructions, Dr. Schwartzman. But it basically, what do you get for your 150 quid? Because you don't get a tutorial. No, you've got to go and spend a few more quid from L&L first of all. You know, the company that closed down, that one. What you get is a zombie gimmick. I can pick one of those up for 5 quid. You get a handkerchief. You can pick one of those up for 10 quid. And I get the light bulb. Oh, the light bulb that comes with it. It's one of those cheapy, crappy light bulbs. The light bulb comes separately. It's one of those cheapy, crappy ones, like with the really old instructions. I looked it up online. That's like 6 quid. So you've got like 20 quid's worth of stuff in this box, and no tutorial, and they're charging 150 quid for it. And you know, maybe if it had the most, because you do this stuff, you do the full dancing hank routine, don't you?
You know the one, yeah, the one with the black cloth.
And it's jumping all over the place, and you spin it around your back and everything. So it's not like he doesn't know how to use zombie gimmicks. This kid floats more things in his show, like your show. You use the ultimate dancing hank, the impossible hank, every type of hank that there is. Animation sensation. Then you do that thing from Bond Lee where the ring's jumping on the rope. That you do a load of stuff with loops now. You do dancing cane. He does a lot of floating stuff. Oh, and you do all of the bubble floating stuff as well. He does a lot of stuff where things float, right? So, like, it's not like he doesn't have a clue how to use a zombie gimmick. He's used one a lot.
We practice it every goddamn night.
I know, right? And I don't see what's being added here. It's a zombie gimmick with a light bulb that you can get for a few quid, with no instructions and a cloth, and it's 150 quid.
150 quid.
This is, without a shadow of a doubt, the biggest rip-off in Magic. This is the biggest rip-off of all time. This is just diabolical. This is terrible, and I can't believe that it's actually been released. If you want to learn how to do a floating light bulb, don't look here, because you're not going to get instructions for it. At all. You're not going to get nothing. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. I'm going to give it I'm going to give it minus 1 billion, trillion, quadrillion, million, billion, quadrillion, infinity plus infinity squared times 1 billion, trillion, million, quintillion, million, gazillion, billion, trillion %.
Somewhere between 700 billion and a trillion, 300 million billion.
Good luck, Michael.
Yeah, good luck, Michael.
Same.
He's giving it the same.
But squared.
Squared. Don't buy it.
Add a tiny little 3 on the top of mine.
Cubed.
I meant cubed, not 2. Squared is 2.
Yes.
I meant cubed.
You meant cubed.
Yeah. So
You
do
should
it,
know- you
do
should
it,
know
and
about-
then do it again.
You should know about cubes.
Yeah, do whatever that number was that you said. Times it by itself and then do it again.
Let's move on, shall we? You know it's a pretty messed up review show when the people that are here to save the day are illusionists. What sort of parallel universe have we got into where you need the quality up? We need to make sure there's quality on this review show. What do? Pick up the phone. Garrett, we need you to save the day here, dude. Get Illusionist to bring on the best. And Illusionist are here to save the day, like riding in on a white horse.
Little white horse.
We have bursting onto the scene. We have quicker than a blink and a bare fingertips cause a permanent prediction to burst into another. Dirty secret, filthy visuals, and ends clean. Dirty secret, filthy visuals. What are they doing? This is by one of my favourite magicians, actually, Juan Capilla. I've really grown recently to like him. We like Juan. Yeah, we do. Juan Capilla, he's amazing. He's got some great stuff out through Penguins, great stuff out through Illusionist. And what you just saw, what I just read out is very, very true. Now, I'm going to do a slightly different presentation of this. Juan actually has multiple different ways of using this.
This is a small version.
No, S. So you can get one, there's 2 versions with this. You can have a single change or a double change. This has got the single change.
Is that one where you can go bang and it turns into a different and then bang?
Bang again.
I want a double.
You want a double? You want a D, do you?
Can I have a D? I want a D.
Well, look, Juan, when he does this, he writes the prediction in real time. So he takes a post-it note, he puts it on the thing, and he writes it in real time. I'm not going to do that. So instead, I'm just openly saying I've put a prediction on the Queen, just because I think for me it suits it better. I think having it on the face of the deck and just dealing it onto the table and saying I've got a prediction there. You'll see what it is in a minute.
And it's the best packaging.
Yes, I know you love the packaging. Yes, that packaging is always awesome. But let's have a look at the performance of it, and then we'll talk about what we think.
Yeah.
Okay, right. I've taken one of the cards out of this deck. Doesn't really matter what it is. It's the Queen of Spades. And what I've done is I've written on a post-it note on the other side of this card the name of the playing card. Okay. I'm not going to let you see it. I'm going to cover it up here for a minute. I don't want you to see it. Okay. I also have a pack of 52 cards. 52.
Possibility.
Exactly. You're going to have 2 cards picked. This is going to card number 1. Say stop. Stop. There you go. That's your first card. Have a look at it. Show the camera. Do not show me. And I'm going to give you a second card as well. Say stop. Stop. That's your second card. Have a look at it. Remember it. Don't forget it. Got it? You can put the cards back in the deck. And if you want to shuffle the cards, you can do. It's completely your choice. It makes no difference because I know what your cards were.
I don't trust you.
See, it's not true what people say. Ryland and Petty can do card tricks. Just not many of them. Well, you know. It's kind of true, let's be honest. So I made a prediction underneath here. I'm going to start by being a rebel. Yeah, by going with the second card first. And I wrote on here, on this post-it note, the 5 of Hearts. Was that your card?
Yes, that was my card.
That was your card. Is that pretty impressive?
Yes, that was.
But obviously, it wasn't the first card. So I'll tell you what, watch the post-it note very carefully, yes? Tell me the name of your first card.
The 3 of Spades.
Watch, all I have to do is flick. And as I do, the post-it note changes into the 3 of Spades, and I will give you the post-it note as a souvenir. And that is the trick. There you go. Okay, Ryan, what did you think of this? When I showed it you weren't as enamoured with it as I was, and you're just as big a Juan Capilla fan as I am. I looked at it and I was like, oh, I love that because you can literally.
It's really
I just
nice.
love the
It is
fact that
nice.
you've got the prediction there. You can write it in real time if you
And
want
it's
to.
just bang.
Boom, it changes. Then you give them the post-it note, and then the card is just examinable. You, and
It's
there's
really nice. I love it.
Do you?
It's the best.
And then there's
It's the best. Obviously, trick of the week.
Yeah.
Obviously, trick
although
of the week.
although the next trick's quite good as well.
Which one's that? Oh, no. Not trick of the week.
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 No.
Next one's quite good as well.
I can't even see it. It's that good. It's hidden.
It's hidden.
Oh,
It's over there.
It's over there.
But that one's quite good. That one's really good.
That is the trick of the week.
Yeah, but this is really good. I very much like it, and they do talk about how to fix it if it breaks, which is great. It's a very good tutorial. Juan is a great teacher, goes through everything with a fine-tooth
Live
comb.
performance?
Yes, live performance, and
Finally,
also
someone put live performance on their
yeah, it's a live
show.
performance, and also the other thing is that I quite liked about this. What I was going to say. Oh yeah, so he's got handling, which is probably the way that I'll end up doing it, which is where it has three people. He has somebody pick a card. He has somebody think of a card, and he has someone name a card, and he does the prediction. He shows the prediction's correct. He changes it, and then for the final card, he says, "What was the card you named?" And they say, and the card that the prediction was on changes into the third card, and then everything's examinable. And it's really nice. I like that he's gone to the effort of pointing out different ways that you can make this examinable at the end. It makes it very, very practical because it is literally one gimmicked card. If you don't want to give away the post-it note, you don't have to. You could keep it on there, and you could have the post-it note written out so you don't write it in real time. That way you don't have to carry post-it notes around with you. But if you want to do it in real time and give the post-it notes away, then you can. I'm going to give this 95%. I'm definitely going to work on this. I'm definitely going to do this. I know you don't do many card tricks, really, at all, close-up or stage. And this is a card trick. I can see you doing this on Insta.
Yeah. I'm definitely mine. But I want a double.
You want a double?
I want a double.
So what are you giving it?
I'm gonna give it.
Take your time. It's okay. You just sit there and think. I'll just chat to everybody. So I hope you're all having a good day.
190.
190.
No, 98.
98. Okay, so 98% from Ryland, 95% from me. But it's not Trick of the Week. Because Trick of the Week is coming up in the final review.
No. 3, 2, 1.
Now, so the final trick today, we have Gustavo Raley, one of Ryland's favourite magicians, Gustavo Raley, and he is bringing out something called playing coins, which is a coin production. Now, you get 2 little plastic coins with it. You can produce up to 5 coins. You don't have to use the plastic coins, though. Gustavo's designed it as like a close-up trick for kids, and he suggests that you can actually make chocolate coins appear. Which is a really good idea. But me and Ryland have been practicing it with
I've just got a good
$half.
idea. What if you had chocolate coins? Yeah. And instead of having one at the bottom, just had 3 in there and just go and just have it and then throw one out into the audience, and whoever catches, like in a kid show, whoever catches it gets a chocolate coin and go bang.
Well, the idea is that
Bang.
the idea is that
hang on.
Gustavo says that you should give all 5 of them out that he makes. Yeah.
Ooh, 5. Yeah, Daddy. How about if you do the 5 and then you do it like, you know, we do the games.
Yeah.
Whoever wins the game, like, you can just go, wait, what's this? Bang it, and then you come up and you catch it, and you give it to them.
Okay, yeah. So you're making them appear as you're doing the game. Very good idea.
Yeah, chocolate coins.
There's lots of different options with this.
It is.
Couple of live
really
performances, which is good. Very short tutorial, but Gustavo goes through
Live
everything that you
performance?
need. Yeah, there's a live performance. Yeah, obviously. I'm gonna let Ryan. This is footage from your Instagram, isn't it? So
Yeah.
you did this on Instagram. In this particular footage, because he was keeping it under a minute, you made 4 coins appear, didn't you?
Yeah, but you can make 5 appear.
You can make 5 appear easily. In fact, you can actually, if you wanted to, make 6. But he only talked about 5. But I can see how you can make 6.
6! Oh yeah, you could.
Yeah, but
Could you make 7?
no. But we're going to talk about it in a bit. But first of all, this is a performance of Ryland doing playing coins. So that's. I mean, there's so many great visuals. I mean, people that have been into Magic for a while will know that this gimmick that Gustavo's using was built into a pack of cards once upon a time. In fact, we reviewed a while ago a version of this that Penguin brought out that Nate Kranzo created. Do you remember when he was producing the coins through the glass and he was putting it on top of a deck of cards?
Yes.
Yeah, same sort of concept, to be honest. Using crayons is great because you can take the presentational idea is obviously the footage you just saw was Ryland doing
when
it
I
to
was
music.
like drawing something with the pencil, I was drawing like a coin and then bang and it appears. And
Yeah,
just,
because
like,
the whole idea is that you have a kid take a crayon out, or you have a pencil. You have two kids take pencils and you have them draw coins, and then as they're drawing the coins, you're making them appear.
Oh, could you like make them draw 2 coins and then you go bang bang and then there's 2?
Yeah, you could do. Yeah, you can do that. The nice thing about this is once you understand the various different ways of using this, there's a lot of different options. There's a lot of different ways that you can actually use it. What you just saw Ryland do was one presentation.
Yes.
But it's really super fun. You know, there's a lot of really great visuals. That first production where it goes and it just appears and and catches it in your hand. That's great. I like the second one where it just appears through the glass. My favourite is the last one where you just make it appear and it just goes and lands in the glass.
The funny thing is you can't do that.
I can't do that one. I'm rubbish at it. But I can do all the others. I could see this working really well for a close-up magician.
How many coins does it come with?
Only comes with 2, but it tells you to supply your own coins. It just gives you 2 to practice the move.
Oh, practice move.
But I could see this working really well for a close-up magician that does a lot of family shows, like a restaurant worker in a family restaurant, because the pencils would just fit into your top pocket, inside jacket pocket. You could take it out, borrow a glass, and you're good to go anytime, anywhere. The reset is like literally 5 seconds, isn't it?
It is. You just put the pencil back and then put the coins back.
And then the reset, ready to go again. But it would also work really well in a kid's show, I think. In an actual kid show. It's visual enough for it to work from a distance for a kid show.
Yeah, and then make chocolate coins appear, and then if you buy like 3 of them, made them appear, and then you did like a trick in between each one. Back to their pencils, and then you just did that over and over again. And every time you made a chocolate coin appear, you could put it in the bowl, and then use those chocolate coins in the games.
So let me ask you a question. Would you use this? You're doing a lot more kid shows now.
Duh, I would use it, obviously.
Would you use this?
Why not? Why would not? Why would I not?
I know you like the really visual stuff, like where it's really visual, and this is really visual. It's like really coins just appear. Looks great. I love this. I really, really love this. I think this is really good. This is one of my favourite things that Gustavo has ever come up with. It's going to last a long time. It's very well made. It's very well thought out. The tutorial's great. Dr. Schwartzman or whatever your name is. I'm going to give this 99%.
100%.
100% from Ryland, 99% from me. We're both going to do it.
Why not 100? What's wrong with it?
Okay, I'll give it 100%.
Yeah.
What Ryland doesn't know is he can't put it in his kid show because I'm stealing it and putting it in my...
No, not yet.
Let's wrap this up.
There's another research in the bag. There's another research in the...
Yep, it is another review show in the bag. Thank you once again for joining me here on Magic TV. Thank you for joining Ryland, who's currently a little busy on the floor. We will see you again very, very soon, right here on another review show on Magic TV. We're back every Wednesday at 5 o'clock. If you want to follow Ryland, you can do so by going onto Instagram. He is Ryland the Kid Magician on pretty much every social media platform you can imagine. Other than TikTok, you don't do TikTok.
Because they kicked me out.
They did. They kicked him out because you're under 13. You bad boy. But he's on YouTube, he's on Instagram, he's on Facebook, and don't forget you can follow this channel, subscribe to it if you haven't already done so. We're putting videos up every single day, and if you haven't already done so, go and join the Netrix. It is
www.thenetrix.cookies.
Cookies probably won't take you there, but whatever, at this point I don't care. We'll be back again next week with another review show. Thank you once again for watching. I'm so sorry the tricks were so terrible, but that's just the way the cookie...
You can't.
Okay, there were a couple of good ones. The Illusionist good one and the Gustavo was a good one, but then...
You can't diss Gustavo.
But you can't diss. We'll see you again soon. Thanks very much. I'm Craig.
The worst trick of the week, I think that's what we call it, is obviously Dr. Swain's whatever it's called. Trick, whatever it's called. I don't even know what the trick's called.
Honestly, it's a new low, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not even going to bother doing the tutorial.
It's up with NPAD.
I'm gonna reference a video from a company that closed down years ago. Yeah, go look at that. Oh, really? Which one? Oh, whatever. I'm gonna start getting myself angry again. I'm Craig.
I'm Ryland.
We'll see you again. Take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.